Okie doke.
Hey, welcome. It is Curious Gaming and Naka.
Hello.
And today, because we just got through some more spookies, we are going to play Unpacking. Because it's not spookies. Jeebus.
Eh?
I love it. Dino Bean sounds adorable.
That's what you call the viewers, dino beans.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I spell the beans right, or is that the wrong type of beans?
No, it's still how you spell beans. That's how you spell beans, as in the food beans. As far as I know, that's what I've been doing.
That works for me.
And then B-E-E is like bin.
Bean, have bean.
Have
right.
bean, yeah. Bin.
Alright. Did you want to try this, or you just want to be part of the ride as I...
I just want to be a part of the ride, because I still also need to, like, I'm past this in my game, but... And I love it, it's so cozy, but also, it makes me angry. Because I put things in spots. So I'm like, that makes sense. And then the game's like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Kirio's notoriously bad at organizing.
I am. I did not get the organizy-tisms. I do put all the stuffies like on the bed and whatnot. In all of them. And luckily the game is like, you can put them there. And I'm like, damn right, I can put them there.
Kirio has the ADHD scramble mess.
I'm also
skills.
an artist.
And I'm not?
Well, I meant like actor, artiste, and whatnot.
I kind of want to jokingly like just go, and I'm not?
Comparably?
No, I don't actually pursue that.
Go in there. This joke that like artists and actors and what like the artsy people are very like messy, but like clean. Like they know where things are, but like, which I don't, because I lose track of everything. That's why it like pisses me off if I have things in like a very specific spot and then someone moves it, because having in that spot, I will learn where it is if it's something that I'm using regularly, and then if you move it, I've got no idea. Even if it makes more sense, I need to. It's the same with like people's names. Like I need to be regularly having it in my daily.
Did you say regularly?
Regularly. Yeah, I don't know.
Regularly. So, you know what this game is a adorable, lovely little game that is played out narratively as the different points within the prospective off-screen character's life as they move into various rooms throughout the journey that is their life story. And you play the part of unpacking their things into their room. That's really about it. There's lots of little inferred details and narrative storytelling based off of what you see, where things go, because there is a right and wrong place to put certain things. Not entirely as an exact puzzle piece kind of thing, but more of a general sense. Like, you do not put the kettle in the bathroom, but you can put the kettle in generally most places in the kitchen that will acceptably not be harmful or in the way. And it tells the story of this person's life and passing and growing. Not passing as in dying, but like passing through life. Using this as their narrative. And it's very wholesome and very nice. And just a nice, chill overall thing.
Yeah.
And for me, I blazed right through it. It's just a nice, comfy little organization game.
God, there were so many times where like I'm playing on my own and I'm like, okay, that's where this goes. And the game's like, no. And I'm like,
but where will it go?
But this is where it goes. What do you...
Piggy's gonna have to sit here.
Yeah. I like the blue dino one. Like, the piggy's really cute, but I don't know. That blue dino, I want one.
Picture.
Oh, that just reminds me that I need... I think on the...
Ah!
Ooh. It just reminds me I really want from the official Pokemon store online, a Cubone
Yeah.
and a Squirtle, because those are my babies.
Curio's become very attached to Cubone.
He's a sad little guy that also has mommy issues, and I have mommy issues too, so, you know.
Wait, that was the only item?
Look.
This is the only one in the wrong...
Ooh,
needs to be here?
Ooh, maybe
Needs
in
to
the, maybe.
be in here.
That's what I would.
Oh my
alrighty.
goodness,
That's what
except
I'd
for
put.
that first shot.
Yeah, yes.
That's ridiculous.
You're just gonna finish the game in one. I mean, it wouldn't be awful.
I swear I had more things wrong than that, but hey,
Fair enough.
awesome. So that was 1997 or something like that? This is 2004, so
We had a little college dorm.
yeah, this is them going off to college.
That's
It's either
still-
a dorm or they're like accommodations.
That's still one of the things that bugs
What?
me about the school that the college I want to go to, is that it's what is it called, like on-site schooling.
Yes.
It doesn't have dorms. I'm like, but come on, especially because it's in Vancouver, BC. So it's like, come on.
Oh, it is expensive.
They're like, come on, you gotta, please, dorms, something. I will pay extra for the dorm, just, you know, give me somewhere to live.
Get you hooked. I think that's a movement book, so it goes with the art. See what you got. Aha! Good old early 2000s PC. Technically, that one's more like a late 90s one because. Oh look, I think that's an OC character of theirs, a fairy character.
So cute.
And Piggy's still here. Piggy has lost Bo, and it's a little faded, but Piggy's still here.
We love him. Actually, gonna bathroom.
So yeah, now there's more rooms to take care of in terms of the unpacking.
Yeah. I guess this is more like a
Toothpaste.
like a small apartment. I want one of
Well,
those.
dorms have bathrooms too.
Fair enough. I want one of those.
Oh, sorry, no,
But
sorry.
they're so expensive.
Dorms have usually have communal bathrooms
Yeah, this
rather than
one-
on-site one.
yeah, this one-
But sometimes college accommodations have these kinds of like mini suites, little bachelor pad style things. Pants. Pants goes here. Hook. Hanger goes up there. Close that. A shoe. Shoe. There it goes. Being weird. Games or CDs. Other shoe. Yeah, this is just a nice kind of chill little organization game for us to just vibe to. We were struggling to pick a game to do on the in-betweens from the spooks because Curio wants to play everything that isn't out yet or that we don't own yet.
Yeah. Also, Naka got us Peak,
Oh yes,
which looks
yeah.
so fun. But my computer the other day decided to just
Not your computer.
not computer. Sorry, my my screen
Yeah,
decided to just like kaput.
yeah. It just died out of nowhere.
So we can't really.
The PC is fine, so
Yeah.
it is a significantly less costly replacement.
God, that'd be absolutely awful if the computer itself.
If your PC had cacked fully, it would be like, well, now we're screwed budget-wise for like the next
Yeah.
like half year.
I'd be like, I want the Switch too.
Because
Don't
I
worry about
wouldn't
the
be
computer.
just doing a hack job replacement. I'd be
Right,
going
yeah.
like, all right, we got to rebuild this sucker. Now, mind you, it's not likely that it would have been a full death like that. It
No,
would
but-
probably realistically been something more along the lines of like, oh yeah, this is torched. This part, let's
Sick.
replace this part.
Sink.
And it would have been a expensive replacement, almost to the same cost as a TV for an individual part like that. But
Yeah.
who knows how many parts could have been damaged.
God, yeah.
But yeah, no, the TV just cacked it for some reason, and that best guess is that the backlights blew on it, or something along those lines. Or
do
no,
that.
it's not
I
just
never
the,
did that.
It's not the no, not the backlight. By the way, I am not just leaving the underwear and socks out here. I just haven't opened that drawer yet. So I'm just... Is that a Dance Dance Revolution shirt? I think it might be. I know things from the olden days. The olden nerd days. But anyhow, yeah, so it's like either like the command board or the backlights are shot, something like that. So it's one of those like, okay. The TV's old too. Like, it's just pain in the butt. It's a bit of a tragedy, but like, what are you gonna do? It survived the last 3 TVs we've been using as the main TV. One of which was a break that was caused by me accidentally. By the way, I have to point this out. This movie right here is Donnie Darko. I just think that's cool. Donnie Darko references are not super common, and I always like them.
Yeah. You know what movie?
Excuse me, mouse.
I've been thinking that I should totally check out.
I'm gonna just put you right here.
As a member of the queer community.
Ooh.
Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, I don't know if you're gonna like that.
Probably not, but it seems to be a very like significant movie.
I think it's significant for the wrong reasons.
Probably, but I feel like I owe it.
Oh sure, yeah. That is not
to watch it to like.
Yeah, it's not a commentary to not see it. It's. No. I personally haven't watched either because it's not my kind of film.
I remember my parents watched it.
For clarity, it's because it's a cowboy romance film, and I am into neither of those things.
Yeah. I remember my parents watched it, and I forget. They said I couldn't watch it. I was very young at the time too.
I could say yeah, because it was inappropriate for your age, most likely.
Yeah.
If only that stopped me from seeing things from when I was a kid. I saw heavy metal when I was like 6 or 8 years old.
Yeah, probably not the movie you should.
Wait, no, I think I was younger than that.
I think so. It's like...
Was I like 4 or 5? Oh crap, I might have been 4 or 5. For anybody who doesn't know what that is, it's a sex, violence, and extreme fantasy kind of anthology of stories that's meant to be representative of extreme concepts, most likely fueled by drugs. It is not for kids to watch. And for clarity, it's not that I had like mindlessly neglectful parents who are like, this is animated so kids can watch it. No, it's that my dad was watching it like on his own late one night, and I wandered downstairs because I had sleep troubles, and I think I was hungry or something. I like wandered into the kitchen, grabbed myself like a cookie or something sneakily, realized he was watching something that was like, that looked pretty cool, and I just quietly like, I snuck into the living room. It wasn't even like, oh, I'm gonna sneak this and see it when my dad doesn't want me to. I just kind of, I didn't even think about sneaking. I just didn't want to disturb him, and it was late night, and my mom was extremely light sleeper. So I worked on like not making any sound as best I could, snuck into the room, and quietly laid down comfy underneath the coffee table. That wasn't because I was hiding. I was an autistic child. I was just weird. That was just a comfy spot for me today. I liked laying down underneath the coffee table for some reason. And watched it, and then about like an hour in, I out loud, because it was just so bizarre, said, "This is a weird movie," and my dad nearly jumped out of his skin.
I'd be so scared. Oh god.
I was just like, "Oh my god, how long have you been?" He's like, "What are you doing there?" It's like, "This is a weird movie, Dad."
I've been here for a while.
And he's like, "You can't see this?" But I've been watching the whole time.
Yeah,
because I came down like right as it was started.
Oh jeez.
So I watched like the entire movie, and he's like, "But you can't see." It's like, "But I've already watched most of
like,
it." I can't not see the end of it. Again, autistic child. Like it was more upsetting and traumatic for me to not finish the film than what was actually happening in it. And my dad just kind of defeatedly was like, "I guess so," and then just like let me finish it. And I was like, "That was weird." And then I went to bed.
Yeah,
that was it.
I would have been so. It's just if it was like a horror movie and our kid did that to me, but it was like an actual horror movie, I'd be like, "Oh god, what have you seen?"
That was kind of my dad's reaction, but he just kind of resigned to it because, like, what do you do? Like, damage done.
Also, little kids, in horror movies are always absolutely terrifying. So like watching any horror movie and then like a little kid is like, ah, demon.
Okay, I have got to put this panty and socks into a damn drawer. This is getting ridiculous. The irony being is that it's not like the film is a horror film, but it is a messed up, weird psychedelic film. I just happen to be totally unfazed by it. Like, I have had no trauma or nightmares from it. I basically don't even remember the film fully. I just know it has cool imagery. I do remember stuff sort of from it. It's all vague. Because, you know, I was a kid. It was a long time ago. And it's not like I have some weird obsession with, like, barbarian-dressed, big-chested women riding dragons. A famous cover art piece from the film.
That sounds badass.
I think you would like a lot of theming about Heavy Metal 2000. I doubt that you're going to like a lot of it in it. But we should totally watch it at some point. I think you'd have a blast.
I used to get nightmares all the time from movies. Because my dad would show me.
Ah, here we go. Hang on.
My dad would show me, like, I think Child's Play, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason.
See, my parents never showed me anything.
Which I was little, and
there we go. That's what I wanted to do with that.
Which also, Nightmare on Elm Street is now like my favorite slasher ever, and one of my favorite horror movies. I'm like,
all right, more boxes.
God, I still really hate the word horror.
I know it's not easy for you.
Is I had oh god, what's it called?
Tongue-tied.
Yeah, I was tongue-tied, so my R's, I had to like learn how to do R's after I got it clipped or whatnot. And horror has like 3 R's. It is like the worst word, and I hate it so much.
I found out that I was tongue-tied. Actually, you were there with me. I think we were talking to my mom, and I mentioned that because we had to have our daughter's tongue clipped.
I did like fight for that because it's fine. It's like, no, it's not. She won't eat.
And then, of course, when the other
midwife
like talked to us about it, like, why hasn't this been done yet? It's like, oh, because the other one kept saying it wasn't necessary and refused to set an appointment for us. And then we got an appointment set instantly. So it's like, yeah, that was nonsense. But anyways, so we brought it up to my mom, and my mom was like, what's tongue-tied? It's like, oh, it's when there's the webbing under the tongue, the connective tissue is too far forward, so it prevents the tongue from being able to reach outward effectively. There's different levels of severity for it, and Coraline's wasn't so severe that the tongue couldn't move at all, but it was enough to stop her from being able to feed properly.
Yeah.
And my mom's response was like, oh yeah, you had that. I was like, what? Because my tongue was never clipped.
Oh yeah. There's like not really any reason to not clip it.
Yeah.
And just as someone that even now, if I get excited or get excited or whatnot, it gets back to being fairly bad. Or if I don't know how to pronounce a word and it has like R's in it and whatnot, and I'm just like, I don't want that for my kid.
I had a speech impediment for ages as a kid because I had trouble. I had tongue troubles and whatnot. I also naturally have dyslexia and whatnot because of my autism and everything. But yeah, I never had my tongue clipped either. And here's the bigger joke of it: I repeatedly suffered from pain in my mouth from the webbing under my tongue getting cut on my teeth because it couldn't reach without clipping against my teeth. And because I have freakishly sharp teeth.
Yeah.
Because, of course I do.
I also had issues with, the R's are the ones that I had issues with and still have issues with.
There we go.
But I also...
bugger.
I remember I also did speech therapy, whatnot, for sh sound, SH, and U's. But I got those.
I had a lisp, and I stuttered.
Could not.
And get this, no speech therapy. I had to do it for myself. I had to teach myself my own speech therapy because I had speech problems.
I had to leave class and go see a lady. And then she'd give me stickers, which at the time I loved, and I don't know what happened, but stickers.
The irony of that is so priceless.
Stickers are my autism ick. I'm like, don't.
The reason why it's ironic, for clarity, is that I have to keep kind of giving Curio trouble for, like, having angry, phobic reactions to stickers because Coraline, being 4, loves them.
And everyone keeps giving her stickers. No.
Well, because people give kids stickers. Kid stuff comes with stickers all the time. It happens. There's no avoiding that.
That's why you have to be around when she plays with it. She cannot play with it unless you're around.
That's fine, but you also, like, almost violently reject them even if I am there.
I'm not trying to. That's why I leave the room. I'm not trying to. I don't want to live like that. But, like, just, yeah.
Yeah, I know, love, but it's one of those, like, you're still doing it. You're gonna give her a complex. But the irony
Trust
that
me,
you liked
if I
stickers
give her-
when you were little, and
If I give her a complex, it's not gonna be for the stickers. It's gonna be because everyone else is gonna be like, well, what is your mom? Because your mom goes by he, him. And then she's gonna be like,
oh, that's not gonna give her a
Mom.
complex. That's
That's
gonna be
people
her
believe.
being autistic and everybody being
like, Mom?
possibly hard to deal with when it comes to understanding difference. Which, sorry to throw neurotypical people under the bus like that, but frankly, yeah, come on. I know way too many people who get so hung up and have so many problems with this stuff. Take it from a person who's had to spend their whole life dealing with everybody and everything being alien to them. Nothing gives a kid a complex by being different. Nothing gives kids trouble by being different. Nobody's struggling with that when they're young because it doesn't mean anything to them. It doesn't matter. What gives them problems is when you fight the existence of difference with aggression and insistence that it has to be wrong. That gives kids problems. Not to get on this like a big speechy crusade or anything. It's just one of those like, yeah, that's just how that is. No kids going in being like, I don't understand this he-him nonsense. They don't understand he-him anyways.
Yeah.
Especially if they're autistic. That's just confusing because pronouns are hard when you don't understand social structures in general.
Social structures are weird.
So, yeah.
They're too weird. Just a cup in the bathroom.
Hang on.
Right, yeah.
And put down. No, again, like, not to be preachy about it, not to go off about it with all that stuff. It's just that's just gonna happen. If you're not neurotypical and everybody else is, that's gonna be your big catching point. Not that some people don't follow the same family dynamic structure as you do. I mean, people thinking that that's gonna cause anybody a complex is the exact same logic that people had about gay couples confusing children because kids can't have two dads. It's like, tell that to all the divided families and remarried couples out there. Those kids have two dads. Or two moms. Or what about the kids who don't have them because, orphans. They're a thing. Or adoption. But no, of course. Not being a normal family dynamic, that's going to cause them irreparable brain damage. Which I know that's not actually part of the conversation. It's the idea that it's going to cause them like severe confusion within social structures. But they basically treat it like it's like a permanent damage to the brain that they'll never recover from. And it's like, I'm pretty sure they'll handle it. What's wrong? What's wrong in this room? Nothing? Just the kitchen? Oh, right, I never rearranged where these go. Hang on, put the pot... Excuse me, we'll put the pot under here. And we'll put the kettle over here. There we go. I would have had that in one shot, I just forgot to put those.
Yeah. You're just gonna finish the game in one.
What time are we at? Because we've been at this for a while
It's
now.
24 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
How many episodes are in this? Like, how many, pages of this?
I've never been it.
I don't remember.
I've never been
I think it goes up to 2019.
I think so.
I think there's, 3 more after this.
Fair enough. It's like, yeah, I've got no idea.
This is look at this. PlayStation 2, 4 controllers, which, there's only... I'm not going to call shenanigans on somebody having that. I will call shenanigans on them all being wireless. That's nonsense.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2, I don't even think it had wireless. I know it had wireless ones, but not commonly like that. And they needed dongles. They weren't just wireless like that. I think that's somebody just forgetting because they've gotten too used to modern video gaming consoles. Because pretty much every console is now unwired. Anyways, not commentary on that. I'm not going to call the inaccuracy for them being 4 controllers. I definitely knew people who had PS2s and lots of controllers for them. The inaccuracy I'm going to call on is having any game that would use that.
She got a lizard.
Yeah,
Little lizard.
friend.
Look how cute he is.
Art book under.
I wish that I could sew.
I keep forgetting.
Because I
actually could sew. I keep forgetting.
Because I love cosplaying.
It is expensive unless you make stuff yourself, and even then it's expensive.
Yeah, but it's like. Plus, I feel like I could make myself a fursuit, which is also unbelievably expensive.
I was gonna say that's mega expensive to make. Also,
to buy
hella expensive to buy.
That's just an expensive thing. That's why it
is bonkers expensive.
So despite what a lot of people would believe, most furries don't have suits. Or they grab a suit and they're like, I'm just gonna I can only eat water for the next year. Only ice and water. Because it's like you're out. You got nothing.
Yeah.
You put it in the bathroom. In the bathroom.
I do appreciate the jokes when people are like, oh, like, what you doing? Like the one that shows a plane where it's all a bunch of people in fursuits on the plane. And it's like, oh, like, you're on this flight, what you doing? And somebody's joke comment to it was like, I'm gonna put on some cat ears and get my back blown out by a kid, or get my back blown out and my college tuition paid by a dude with I think they said 27-inch biceps, and he's like, you know what? They're not wrong.
I wish I was better at art, because the amount of people, just in general, that I've heard say that drawing furry porn
gets you money.
That makes you the big bucks. It's like,
because commissions. People go for those commissions real hard.
I can't draw though. I would totally draw that. I'd be like, that's
GameCube.
I'd be like, well, that's a little weird of a thing, but I mean,
also that's inaccurate. That is not a wavebird, so that controller should be wired. Don't mind me. It's a pedantic thing. I think they just, for the sake of art design, as well as probably just subconsciously not realizing that these do not have. No, these would not be wireless. It's just because everything's wireless these days. But yeah. By the way, I like this little detail. Little stuff like this is really nice. These are GameCube games.
Yeah.
You can tell because of the my ears.
That was so
loud.
Oof.
Because of these little detail with the white stripe that blocks off the black bottom part. It then has the little blue symbol because it's a blue console. Well, in reality, it's actually a purple one. But hey, I like that little detail. It's nice. Blanket goes here, I guess. Seems to be for the couch. More GameCube games. I actually at one point went through them and looked at them to be like, can I identify every one of these? Like, this game
I remember you doing that.
is
most of them.
Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah.
And this one is, I think, Bust-A-Move? Oh no, I think I figured it out before. What the heck is that? Looks like Simpsons Road Rage.
Okay.
Or Simpsons Hit and Run. I think it's
One of them.
Hit and Run.
Are they smooching? Little smooch?
I don't think that's a person's head.
No? Okay.
I
don't
think
know.
that's a person, but I don't know about that.
No,
Shoot. I can't tell with that one. I'm not sure.
I thought those leaves were pickles for a second.
Oh,
I was like,
was
why
that
do you pickles?
Animal Crossing? I don't remember what the cover of that one looks like. I don't own that game, so
Fair enough.
unsure.
The only Animal Crossing I've ever played is the one on the
I think that is Bust-A-Move because that's like a puzzle Tetris thing on the back. Boop. I can't move that and it bugs me.
Why can you not move it?
It was already there.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. Well, you're only unpacking that.
Dice Tower, lots
moving
of D&D
around.
books. The D&D books keep increasing, by the way.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a nice touch.
D&D is amazing. I love D&D. I am D&D nerd.
I am really happy that since being together, you've got to experience all these things in life that weren't afforded to you for one reason or another throughout your childhood. That you are
It's
always
gotta go up
curious.
there with those ones.
Oh, good point. Good point. In childhood, that you basically had been interested in but never got to experience, and how many of them you've come to love so quickly.
I love that. Like, I love and hate that seems to be an issue for a lot of people that want to play D&D. Is that they have the same fear I have, which is like, I don't know how to play, so like I don't want to just join a group of people that already know how to play because I'm gonna be annoying. Cause
Yeah. Barrier of entry due to social restrictions.
also, there's lots of like I was under the impression that math was gonna be a much bigger thing, and it's like it is a big thing.
I say it is a very common stereotype that we encounter.
I don't really have to do much of the math.
No, see, that's the thing I tried to explain to a lot of people over the years, is that all the math in D&D you do when you make your character, and that's the majority
and then
of it.
I have to be like, the main math I have to do is like,
Basic addition.
when I roll, being like, oh, I got a 4, and I got a +7 for that. So.
Yeah, like, it is legit just early grade school addition. And the level of people being like, no math at all. It's like, are you a numerate? It's literally like 5 + 4.
Which I am. It does take me a minute or two to be able to count it, because I'm awful at math. But, like, I am glad that, I'm not having to do aggressive math.
Like, yeah, it's not
like
that...
math.
It's just legit not that bad. Like, it's really not that big a deal. But pop culture has really done it dirty by implying that it's some, like, super trigonometry nerds thing. It's like, it really isn't.
Yeah.
In fact, those people tend to have less fun with D&D because of its gratuitous inaccuracies for a lot of things.
I feel like there is a tabletop game that is like...
For that, yes, it is.
Yeah, that...
I mean, hell, actually,
wanna play
GURPS. GURPS itself is, by nature, more designed to favor that kind of level of detail and anal retention of... like anal level of persistence toward detail and realism, because it was designed by, I think it was a physicist, somebody who was like studying like advanced sciences and whatnot, and was bothered by the inaccuracies and shortcomings of most tabletop systems because they're just frankly not that well detailed, because rule of cool and just general fantasy was the goal. And they wanted also the fact that there was multiple systems for multiple things, because they tended to not be very conducive to each other. Like, D&D does not cross over into something like Mutants and Masterminds very well. And then there's a bunch of other D20 systems, but they all stumble over each other because they're not actually built on being cohesively part of each other. They're just different systems doing their own thing, which is fine, but it can lead to frustrations and problems. So the person who made GURPS, Steve Jackson, I believe his name was, wanted it to be a universal system with extremely thoroughly worked out rules and 100% consistency and accuracy across any and all iterations that it could interact with. So it is the rules game of rules. Everything is detailed. Everything.
Look how big that D20 is.
That is a novelty D20 is what that
I
is.
love it. I love it. I want it.
And the thing about GURPS is that it is a high bar of entry because you have to really learn and study. Oh, look, the mouse pad is wearing down from use.
Yeah.
To show time is in fact missing. It's the same mouse, even though the monitor is severely
She just
upgraded.
th-
And
she
the same
likes-
keyboard.
She likes the keyboard and mouse.
Well, true to life, you don't change your keyboard and mouse that often unless you're being one of these like hardcore gamers.
I mean-
Because, and not to make fun of them, like if you need to have the highest, most responsive, most accurate stuff, well, yeah, go for that. But most people, they don't need it.
There's 8.
8 levels, okay.
We're on level 3,
Okay, I was off by 1 or 2, I
I
think.
think. Are we on level 3? I feel like it's level 3.
No, Game Boy Advance. Boop. Evolved from the Game Boy Color. That this Missy was rocking. But yeah, now not to say that GURPS is, by the way, like the nerd math of nerd games, because again, irony being, with tabletop games, you're not constantly doing equations. You have to have already done them. The rules and all the math is actually used to create the artificial framework, and then you play the game. So all the rules are there ahead of time. Like when you play soccer in real life, you don't have to do trigonometry for the trajectory of the ball. You just kick the ball because, well, the world has that covered for you. The universe does the math. You just do the action.
If we ever decide to like sleep in different beds, I'm going to have all my stuffies on the bed.
Yes, this is fair. There's just legit not enough room for.
There really isn't. I have so many stuffies, and I want to cuddle all of them at the same time, but there's no room.
Also, sorry for my rambling. This is just a topic of interest from of mine, going into details and whatnot. Just because I've worked with hypotheticals and the realities of
Buckets. Oh, look at those buckets.
the reality of tabletop systems and accuracies within stuff.
He is our DM.
Yes. I also played under a DM who was notoriously pain in the butt for essentially just claiming to know everything that and claiming accuracy for things, and just one of these too full of themselves people that thought they knew everything, and it was them versus the players, and it was an ego boost thing for them. But more to the point of the reason why the accuracy of rules and the literalcy and translation of factors within tabletop games is relevant, is that he also had a habit of wanting characters to play games with them as themselves in it, but notoriously was unable to accept the reality of what that would imply. To put it bluntly, some of us, not going to name names, but some of us did lots of stuff in life, exercised, actually used archaic weaponry, participated in like lots of different outdoors and general fitness and physical activities, and some of the other players did not.
I feel like the shoes should go on that side.
I don't know. It's usually a cubby thing.
Fair enough.
I'll probably have to rearrange that because there's definitely not enough space for the shoes. Work shirt, work hat. You know what? I am going to put the shoes there because there's not enough room because there's a third set of shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, not to be a jerk about it, but yeah, essentially, some of us were active, capable people, and others were not. Mostly on the not side. Like, some of us did martial arts. Some of us had glasses, were practically blind without them, and had pot bellies. So, now, this isn't to shame people for their body differences. It's for the factor that when it comes to building yourself realistically in a tabletop system, if you're talking actual realism and actually building yourself, you can't make everybody equal. Because it's not going to happen. You can limit people with a expectation of fairness, but then you can't claim accuracy.
Yeah.
You can make everybody accurate, but then you can't restrict them, saying that, well, it wouldn't be fair to the other people because they're not getting this many points or to build their character, or they're like, you're saying you have higher stats than them. It's like, well, yes, because in life, unlike in D&D, if people have already earned being more fit or more capable, you can't just say it's unfair and make them less or make somebody else more. So having to work with these different systems to try to accurately build people to realism of life was a headache I had to deal with a lot. And I mean a lot.
Yeah.
Also with fragile ego people who legitimately could not accept that others were better than them in things. Like, we're talking a guy who, when it came down to it, would not let anyone in the group have a higher intelligence score than him or a markedly higher constitution or anything related to fitness than him, despite not working out, not being in shape, and only priding and focusing on having intelligence. No joke.
Yeah.
Person who does not work out whatsoever would not let others have significantly higher physical stats. Because he really had to believe that he was on equal footing, despite none of the work involved. And frankly, like, this might come, like, people could easily say, like, oh, I protest too much, why do you care that? And it's like, honestly, I couldn't give no less of a damn. It was about the principle of it. If you want me to make something accurate, it's going to be accurate. But if you want everybody to just play a facsimile of themselves that's given equalized terms, then just say that. Do that.
Yeah. Also, I have tried so many times, but I kind of refuse to, like, make myself in any role-playing game. Because I'm living as me. I don't, like, I'm not that interesting. I'm not that cool. I don't want to play in a cool fantasy world as myself.
Yeah, that's a fair call. That's a different topic of conversation, but it's totally valid. I mean, for myself, I like to do that, but here's the thing. I spent my whole life acquiring skills that I will never use.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, I do martial arts. I've trained in a form of Japanese jiu-jitsu fairly diligently. I got pretty good at it. Here's the reality of it. Even in self-defense, I know we're hitting...
I was gonna say, we should totally do, like, I know you said one, and we could totally just do one if you want, but I feel like we could, like,
I figure we'll just do the run, I'll wrap this up and whatnot.
Right, fair enough.
I mean, in fairness, there's really nothing going on here, so the conversation at large is just what's kind of carrying through the time.
Yeah.
But I'll finish up this
Fair
thing, and we'll just have a slightly longer episode.
Yeah.
Because
I have slots.
this chapter is almost done. Just motoring on through. To finish with saying, though, yeah, I trained in a form of Japanese jiu-jitsu fairly diligently. I'm pretty good at it. And I'll never use that in my life. I've used self-defense. I've used stuff from it in self-defense. But you know what it equates to? Basically the beginner stuff. The beginner basics. I've never used anything that wasn't part of the white belt curriculum in as part of, like, general exercises and warm-ups. Why? Not because I couldn't use the fancy stuff, but more realistically because I couldn't use it against an opponent that wasn't advanced. That's not to say, like, oh, my code of conduct prevented me. I literally couldn't use it. Like, a classic one in throws, if anybody knows judo, is this goes across judo and jiu-jitsu. Horaya Goshi. I think I've got that name right. I might be mixing it up with another one, but if I got it right, Horaya Goshi is, when you actually break it down, it's a hip throw where right before you complete the throw, you do a little sweepy sweep, a little leg trip to complete it and send them over. It's still going over the hip, so it's a modified hip throw. Why do you do it? Well, here's the reality of it. It's a move we all know in terms of, like, judo and jiu-jitsu. Like, we all know that move because it's a pretty early one that we all get taught. And it's an effective one. But why do you do the little foot sweep when you're already throwing the person? Why not just have a good hip throw? Well, here's the reality of what that move actually is for. It's to stop somebody who is advanced enough to know what a hip throw is and how to avoid it by stepping outside your leg positioning and to get around your hip. So, in that scenario, a person goes to step around, and instead of hip throwing, you do Horai Goshi and catch them and sweep them. One of those like, haha, you can't escape me. I already know the counter to your counter. But we don't really teach it like that, we just teach it as a move. But that's what that move is. You will never use that realistically in almost every self-defense scenario because you're not fighting random judoka or jiu-jitsu practitioners in the street. Like, I'm never gonna do a Sekirikeri Goshi in the middle of the street. Who the hell am I gonna be fighting against that knows what the hell that is or even how to defend against the stuff that leads up to it?
That'd be great. I wanna see it if it ever happens. I wanna be a part of this.
Well, it's a joke I make, right? Like, people like to talk about practical uses, like, oh, like martial arts, the practical martial arts for self-defense. Let's be honest, most of them work just fine, but when it comes to stuff like that, you're never gonna do it because who the hell is fighting roving bands of rogue martial artists? No one! So you're just gonna end up using, well, the basics, because they work. And you only use the more advanced stuff when you fight somebody who's also a martial artist and also advanced. That's just it. That's the end of it. So for me, making myself in RPGs and fantasy games is a way for me to experience what, or to at least have fun seeing if, as long as I can give a reasonable facsimile of myself, what my hypothetical self with these skills would be able to do or how effective I'd be in these scenarios. I get to see them in use. I get to see myself in action, quote unquote. Which, again, I get it. Like, it's not for everybody. I totally don't think Curio was wrong for not wanting to do that.
Subconsciously, especially in like video games where like I can actually physically see them, but in D&D too, I subconsciously make people that I find sexually attractive.
Yeah, that's a common one for a lot of people.
I'm like, I want to play as this hot babe. Cause like, also usually as women, because in most games, women just have more options.
They really do have the more interesting options. Like, I don't even play women in video games much because, again, I like to self-insert, and then I'll play somebody else in the long run. But, yeah, realistically, they usually have the better options. Okay, I think I fixed the kitchen. What's out of place? Oh, this. Can't get it under the table. Does it just go on the couch? It goes on the couch.
Fair. Okay. Fair enough. Well, yeah, I guess that's a hot press.
That was a blanket. I put down a blanket.
On the.
That's already there. That's been there.
Fair enough. True. That's what I was looking at.
Apparently the bedroom isn't. Oh, right. I never finished sorting this stuff out. Durr. Pardon me. I'm gonna.
She didn't have her other.
Rock climbing gear, by the way. That's
nice.
the chalk bag.
Nice.
The chalk bag, for anyone who doesn't know, is for rock climbers to maintain grip because your hands get sweaty and whatnot. They use chalk as a means to dry out their hands, so they can not have slippery fingers and maintain, control in their grip. But rather than just have like a piece of chalk, because that's not really how it works. What they do is they have a bag that's got like a essentially like a powder puff full of chalk and like that, and you just stuff your hand into the little bag, and then there you go.
I believe gymnasts have something like that too.
Yes, they usually have a like tray of chalk. What do you want from me, discus? What do you want from me, frisbee?
Oh.
What? Where do you go? Answer me.
See, this is where the game got kind of frustrating for me because there were just so many moments like this for me.
Does it go here? Because it's the games room?
There were so many moments in this game.
Under the bed.
Yes.
Under the bed.
Yeah, okay. There's so many moments in this game where I'm like,
What is it?
where the
It's
hell do you
bathroom.
go? Okay, clippers don't go in there.
Clippers are in the wrong drawer. But there's the shaver in there, dude. I guess I didn't use these other drawers.
Yeah.
Birth control, in you go. Really?
Okay. Alright.
Alright, I'll take it. Anyway, sorry I rambled on forever about completely benign stuff and blah 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 blah. I just kind of get into a zone and then prattle off while I work.
I think the only games that I play what gender more aligns with me on the inside is like Story of Seasons. And that's
that's kind of your it's not a self-insert purely, but it's your sort of self-insert.
I'll give him like cute little like anime-esque hair that's like bright blue and whatnot, but like I'll make him a dude because they're kind of this, like the gender does not
and the options
matter.
Tend to be generally the same.
So like, okay,
By the way,
make my dude wear a dress, that's fine.
Before we sign off, take a look at this apartment with their clearly boyfriend here.
Yeah, big bed.
Look at the setup.
Is that looks like alcohol in there? I know
it's shampoo and whatnot, but it's made to look like alcohol because dude stuff. But look at this setup. This is so very obviously his space.
It's so small too. Oh.
And here's the thing: his stuff gets to be up on the walls. Here's that. When you unpack in this one, you end up having to take all of your stuff and put it in the closets and such.
Yeah, you gotta hide it because there's no space.
Well, it's not just no space. He does not let you share the space to display your accomplishments and accolades.
Like she's got a diploma.
Well, your as in the girl in this side. Your diploma gets stuffed into the closet. Your interests, your art. This is a point in her life where a lot of who she is at heart and what she wanted to be gets quashed and quieted and essentially devalued by this person. And she has the work clothes and whatnot. He's clearly in a... I don't know if he has the same job or like he's inspiring.
You let my girl make her furry art.
Also, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the Xbox is out. The Xbox has prioritized his console, whereas the GameCube and the PS2 have been shied away.
He's a dick.
Well, it is kind of implied that, yeah, he's a bit of a douche. I like the nice details back there for the...
Yeah.
If anybody is concerned, it does actually get nice. Like, it goes... She leaves the guy and it gets nice. Like spoilers, but it ends up... she ends up being in... a lesbian relationship, I believe, in the future. That, and no spoilers for you. I won't finish it off that, but it gets a very nice, lovely ending.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. I'd be mad if this game was like abusive douchebag forever. I'd be like, God, why are you having me unpack?
Having an okay or nice ending is one thing, where she gets out of the abusive relationship and gets to pursue her art. That'd be nice, but it's even better than that.
Yeah.
It's much nicer.
I imagine.
But yeah, so that was just unpacking and me rambling on and probably making an ass of myself. But it's a lovely little game. I absolutely recommend it. It's a very relaxing, chill thing.
I think if we can't figure out what to do one of the in-between games, we should totally just finish this.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Rip right through it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not a long game by any means,
yeah.
But it's not about being long. It's about being peaceful.
Yeah.
And, cathartic. Sorry, my back was very stiff.
Yeah.
I do actually really enjoy this. Like, it's funny because I think Curio was trying to sell me on this, be like, oh, I think it's a nice little thing. And I was like,
you enjoy, like, organizing stuff?
Yeah, when he was first taking interest in it, I was like, oh, no, sweetie, like, I freaking love stuff like this. This is so very zen for me. I love the, like, putting things in the places and where they need to go and all that. It is so satisfying for me. Ironic, because my house is a total mess and I do not have things tidied up and put away. In my defense, there's no space for anything.
No, we don't live... This isn't our house. We don't live alone.
Yeah.
So.
When I do have my own space and whatnot, I actually am very tidy. But that's the thing. Like, if I don't have a system and a place to put everything, it completely collapses because then there's no meaning to anything, and I just like, whatever. I remember where things are.
Autism/trauma horde. I'm like a little dragon. I have my nest.
I kind of mad scientist nest and kind of lair, so I just kind of have a method to my madness. Anyways, that's enough of the rambles.
But thank you for joining us. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm not exactly sure what game we're gonna do next. Maybe made Skier.
Yeah, we also might do another one of these in betweens. Just depending on what we're feeling for terms of vibes and like time and whatnot. We are also waiting on the replacement TV to come in before we do something like play Peak.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we're not feeling something spooky, we might just do this again or do another in between game, depending on what we're feeling like or thinking of. We still have Moonstone Island to check out. We have a bunch of little stuff here and there. We also just picked up Star Wars Battlefront 2. It was super duper on sale. And I honestly, for me, I just got it because I have like every other Star Wars game. I don't even like the majority of them. It's just a force of habit at this point because like, why not? They keep being on sale for like a couple of bucks, or like the bundles will be like a whole bunch of the games for like $20. And I like some of them, so I was like, yeah, I just like collecting them. So now I have that, and we got Curio a copy. So we could play that together and be stupid and lose horribly because we suck at that together. I don't even know if we'd be that bad. I don't like competitive online shooting games.
I'm awful at them.
I know it's not like a shooter, but I still don't like deathmatch games and whatnot. It's just not my thing.
I want to get really good at them so that when toxic a-holes are like, huh, you're a girl, I can like kick their ass. That yeah.
I definitely understand the desire to shove it in people's faces when people are toxic and awful, but I found that despite having the ability to reach that skill level and having the ability in general, because like no matter how hard you work at it, sometimes you can't get up to the higher levels if you just don't have the natural aptitudes for it. Yeah. But despite having the ability to reach the higher aptitudes for it, it's not worth it because it's just too much dedication and work. Yeah. It takes too much, and you lose joy from doing it. I would much rather say whatever, I don't care, because I don't need to win and I don't need them to lose. I just want to enjoy the thing.
I need them to lose a little though.
I get that. I do get that.
I need to shove it in their faces.
This is something I guess these are unlocks.
Oh god, they're pretty stickers. And sometimes food. What do you mean sometimes food? I like that face looking at that D20. Like,
Yeah, these are, I guess, in association to the different times and whatnot.
I guess so.
I'm not sure how to unlock them.
No idea.
I think these unlock based on like little hidden factors inside each level, like solving the Rubik's Cube and stuff like that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which I haven't bothered doing most of those.
Yeah.
It's just a chill little thing.
But yes, we will be back soon. Mm-hmm. And yeah. Also, I swear, I promise, I swear to God, I will get back on Twitch if you watch it.
Yeah, we haven't streamed in ages for a couple of different factors.
I'm doing Resident Evil 4 remake, and I'm so close. But
if it wasn't for the fact you've streamed most of it, I'd say let's just record it and get it finished that way. But
most of it's
yeah, you're on the last stretch of it. It's too much at this point.
I'm in the castle now, and I remember in the remake, the castle, I believe it's actually longer because they also add parts with with the other guy and whatnot.
They lengthened it out a fair bit.
So it's gonna be, but it's right there, and it's like, I swear to God, I will. I promise.
You're not. Correction, Nick. You're not almost done the game. No, at this point, you're like halfway to bit past half.
Yeah, past half.
But that's still way too far in for me to do a recording.
Yeah.
Instead, like it would just feel weird.
Yeah. But I will. I promise. I don't know when. Probably, hopefully before this video comes out. Hopefully, but you know.
God, I'd have to. Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So you're not done?
No, I am done, but I think because I restarted one because our Wii one wanted me to like go to a certain level, I have to now redo it.
Bean says finished.
Oh, maybe. Oh, you know that's what it is I accidentally finished it on hers, I think.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Oh.
Sorry, spoilers. I wasn't thinking there. Oh yeah, so it's 1997 to 2018.
Yeah.
There we go. It's a lovely little one.
Yes. Okay, make sure you drink water, eat food, don't get in relationships with people that try to hide who you are, and don't enjoy your accomplishments with you.
More accurately, don't stay in those relationships. We all have our journeys to do, and we all have all our successes and mistakes to make. And if you ever find yourself in that situation, know that you can always stop. It's never too late to break away from something unhealthy for you and to change your life for the better by making the efforts to be yourself and find another way to be outside of the thing that's hurting you. Now, I know that's easier said than done, and it is very cliche to say, oh, heck, what did I just say? I just said it and I slipped right out of my head. I'm tired. Well, the be yourself thing and the like, be true to yourself. Like it. There's a reason why people say it. It is valid.
Yeah, but yes, I love you all, and yeah, I hope you've had an entertaining and wonderful time. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Mwah.